Beautiful morning. I'm so very happy to see you all here on this very, very special day. I'm Gloria Gibson. I'm the Provost and Senior Vice President here at Morgan State. And this is such a special day. On the heels of our Founders Day yesterday, we are here today celebrating the opening, the new home for the Earl G. Graves School of Business and Management. Yay! This is such a special day, and as the Chief Academic Officer of the institution, this opening is symbolic of Morgan's rise in the academic world. It is symbolic of the status of the university, our faculty, our staff, and our students that work hard every day to make Morgan the absolute best that it can be. So welcome, and thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day. We have faculty, staff, students, officials, elected officials here. We have the corporate world represented. We have community members represented. So it is a special, special day for us all to come together in celebration. So we are going to start off our celebration and our program with an invocation by Reverend Dr. Bernard Keels.
Let us pray. Eternal God, architect of incomprehensible majesty, we gather in appreciation and awe of your care for growth and development of Morgan State University. The Earl Graves School of Business is evidence of a student whose vision in life was built on a foundation of seeing the big picture, making straw into brick, and then brick into buildings. Facing the future keenly aware that the day would come when bricks would erect this wonderful building of learning, a learning that is new discovery in pursuit of wisdom. Grant that those who teach, O God, and those who learn may find in the contents of this school a source of knowledge and a pathway to excellence. Guide them, O God, to embrace the future because they will lead the world. Pour out your spirit on our president, Board of Regents, our faculty, staff, and students, that all may be instruments of thy grace from generation to generation. Shield them, O God, from the complacency and comfort that so easily besets us, that teaching and learning must go beyond the walls of this building. Together may we heed the clarion call of John Wesley to do all the most we can, for all that we can, for as long as we ever can. Amen.
Thank you very much, Reverend Keels. It is now my privilege to introduce to you the chair of the Morgan State University Board of Regents, the Honorable Kwesi Mfume.
Thank you very much, Madam Provost. Dr. David Wilson, I would be remiss if I didn't point out the fact that we are joined by several members of our Board of Regents, and they're scattered among you. If you could stand or raise your hand, I would appreciate it. We have here also the Vice Chair of the Board of Regents, Reverend Dr. Francis Tony Draper, Regent Penelope Taylor, and our two newest regents, both of whom are Morgan alumni, Winston Wilkerson, and beside Regent Wilkerson is Regent Marquise Walker. Dr. Bagation and faculty, members of the Graves School of Business, members of the Graves family, the elected officials who are here from all levels of government, students, staff, ladies and gentlemen, collectively, good morning to all of you. It is my pleasure to bring you greetings on behalf of the Morgan State University's Board of Regents. As many of you know, yesterday we commemorated just on the other side of campus in Convocation the founding of our institution in 1867, 158 years ago. And today, at exactly the same time, we celebrate and rededicate a major learning resource for students in honor of and in name of one of our most accomplished native sons. This beautiful $80 million facility is officially today the home of the Earl G School of Business and Management. It offers, I should tell you, an array of academic programs, including bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degrees. The curricula are rigorous, relevant, and forward-thinking. And that is augmented by a highly qualified and productive faculty, over 90% of which hold a PhD in their discipline, thereby combining, as they do as they teach, years of experience in the business world with their ongoing research and with their teaching and community engagement. Earl, we want you to know that all of the programs here in this School of Business and Accounting at all levels are accredited by the Association to Advance Collegiate Schools Business International. It is the highest level of accreditation and achievement, and it is earned by less than 5% of all the business schools worldwide. We thank also today, as you will hear shortly, from many members of our state government, this and previous governors, our strong leaders in the state Senate and the House of Delegates, our congressional delegation, all of whom have worked mightily and in unison to bring us to this special moment. And if I might, on a very personal note, I want to thank you, Earl, for all the many years of friendship and guidance, for willingly being the big brother that I never had. Butch, Johnny, and Michael all know better than me that Dad was king. But the logical inference in that recognition is the fact that Mom was queen. She was the matriarch of a wonderful family who, through almost 52 years of marriage, kept everybody together. While I, like others, are basking in this wonderful hour of rededication and celebration, my thoughts at this moment are of Barbara and the kindness that she extended to all of us. I miss sharing a meal at the house in Scarsdale. I miss the dressing up in college attire for the Super Bowl parties that you held there, and how Earl and I, as years passed, struggled and wrestled to get into Morgan jerseys that we could no longer properly fit. I miss the annual family photos with Earl and Barbara in the center and all the kids and grandkids around them, and I, like so many people across the nation, waited to receive those photos as Christmas cards each year. I miss that image that I and so many others have of she and Earl, year after year, laughing and holding hands at the Morgan galas. Still sweethearts, and still very much in love. And so as we remember them today, we also want to thank all of you who have given of your time, your money, and your effort. For we at Morgan bear a particular witness to the radical and transformational nature of education. And we know how this School of Business Management has played and will continue to play a significant role in the lives of students for many, many years to come. So my congratulations to all of you here, and thank you this morning for your presence. Mr. President.
Thank you so very much for those heartfelt remarks. If you will look on your program, we are now at a place where we will have remarks from a number of distinguished guests. And the first person is not a guest, but the leader of this great and prestigious institution. So it is my honor to now introduce you to our president, Dr. David Wilson.
Thank you very much, Dr. Gibson. To Chairman Mfume, to our Lieutenant Governor who may be on the way, Rutherford, to our elected officials, Senator Joan Carter Conway, if you would raise your hand, Senator Nathaniel McFadden, Delegate Maggie McIntosh, Councilman Robert Curran, Senator Catherine Pugh, I saw her earlier, right behind me, and to other elected officials. I think I covered all the ones, to Delegate Conway, and to all of our elected officials who are with us this morning. Frank Turner, absolutely, who's a member of our faculty here as well, and so I cannot forget that, absolutely. But as Regent Mfume indicated, we would not be standing here today were it not for the incredible support that we have received from these individuals that I just introduced to you. This $80 million facility is here because they have fought very, very hard to ensure that we bring world-class facilities here to Morgan, where our students can study in facilities that are best in class anywhere in the country. And so please join me in giving these individuals a round of applause. This is indeed a great day for Morgan State University. It is a great day for the citizens of the city of Baltimore. It is a great day for the state of Maryland. It's a great day for the nation, and it's a great day for the global community. Because this day represents not only the official opening of this magnificent $80 million facility on what we are calling our West Campus, but today represents the dawning of a new day in Morgan's growth and a new day in our progress. Today represents a powerful and triumphant, if you will, moment, a moment that is anchored in this institution's 148-year history and in this nation's historical and ongoing struggle for civil rights for all of its citizens. Because today, we are standing here, you are sitting here on sacred ground, on ground that means so much to this institution. This ground means so much to our alumni. It means so much to our current students. And it should mean just as much to this city and just as much to this state. For it was on these grounds, the Northwood Shopping Center, and elsewhere in Baltimore, that in the late 1940s and in the 50s, that the first, let me repeat that, the first student protest of the civil rights movement in this nation occurred right on these grounds. And it happened with students of what was then Morgan State College, because those students were not allowed to go to that theater right over there and watch a movie. And they were not allowed to sit at the drugstore right over here, or the lunch counter, or the ice cream parlor, and to be served a meal. They were not allowed to shop in the shops that actually dotted the landscape on which we stand and sit today. And they were not allowed to even do that in other parts of the city of Baltimore. But the courageous and defiant Morgan students, they staged the nation's first peaceful college sit-in movement in America. And they endured the first mass arrest of the civil rights movement in order to bring an end to racial discrimination in public accommodations. And these brave Morgan student civil rights pioneers, as we call them, they set in motion a college sit-in movement that spread throughout the nation and especially throughout the South. And so it is important, as I look out on our distinguished alum, Mr. Earl Graves Sr. and the impressive Graves family, that I place this building in its proper historical context today and anchor and connect it to the struggle of Morgan students on this soil. And so it is on the shoulders of these American pioneers that we proudly stand today and hold the official opening of the new Morgan Business Center, home of the Earl G. Graves School of Business and Management on this soil. This 140,000 square foot Morgan Business Center is comprised of some of the best labs that you would see in any facility, and it is named after one of this institution's most distinguished, accomplished, and supportive alumni, Mr. Earl G. Graves Sr. As you will see, absolutely. Let's give Mr. Graves Sr. another round of applause, please. This school offers 8 undergraduate degree programs, 6 graduate programs at the certificate, master's, and doctoral levels, and all of our programs, as you heard from the chairman, are accredited by the AACSB. And that is nothing to sneeze at. And so you will note, my friends and colleagues and supporters, that the design of this building is angled, and it points clearly in one direction. And that design is deliberate, and it is symbolic. It symbolizes the fact that this university and the students who come out of this school, they must understand their past because of the soil on which this building rests. But that angle is there because we want them to forever look toward the future. It symbolizes the fact that though Morgan acknowledges and we commemorate our not so glorious past with the Northwood Shopping Center, but the university is ever so gazing and moving forward to a much more glorious and promising future. And so we are so glad to have you with us today. We thank all of you once again who've been so supportive of Morgan State University, so supportive of our mission, and who have made and continue to make our progress possible. And we thank you for sharing in this history-making moment. Good morning.
Thank you, President Wilson. The next part of our program, we will have remarks from a number of officials and also from our dean. My understanding is the Lieutenant Governor is not here. I just want to make sure. But we do have Mr. Kiefer Mitchell, who is the Special Assistant to the Governor. Please, let's welcome him.
Good morning. On behalf of Governor Hogan and Lieutenant Governor Rutherford, this is a great day for our state, our city, and the institution of Morgan. Lieutenant Governor could not be here, but has asked me to speak in his stead, and I'll be very brief. My former colleagues from the General Assembly are here and will definitely be able to say a lot more words than I may do. But I want to say something on a personal privilege, take a moment of personal privilege to the Graves family. Mr. Graves, I met you in the early 1970s with my uncle Perrin Mitchell in Washington, D.C. And you all were very good friends. And each birthday I had after that meeting, my uncle, for my birthday present, subscribed to me Black Enterprise magazine. And it's something that I continue to do. And on behalf of my family and behalf of the state of Maryland, Governor Hogan and Governor Rutherford, this is a great day. Congratulations, and it's well deserved. Thank you very much.
Okay, hopefully we won't get blown away before. It's a beautiful day, but just a little windy. It is now my honor to introduce to some of you, and most of you know, the dean for the school, Dr. Bogosian.
Thank you, Madam Provost. Good morning. Just as Chairman of the Board did and President Wilson did, I welcome you all to this occasion on behalf of the 1,300 students in the School of Business and 70 faculty and staff. Welcome to this occasion. This academic unit was at one time a small unit on the Morgan campus. In 1975, it became a School of Business and Management. Over the past 20 years, this School of Business and Management has marked a few milestones. Among those are the initial accreditation of the School of Business programs by AACSB International in 1996, the special accreditation of its accounting program by AACSB in 2002, the continued accreditation of all its business programs, including the doctorate PhD in 2011. During that time period, the last 25 years, we were led by Dean Otis Thomas, who is now Dean Emeritus, and I'd like to recognize officially his contribution to this journey. So what or who is this AACSB, one might ask? AACSB is the oldest and most prestigious accrediting body in management education in the world. As was already stated today, less than 5% of business schools in the world have AACSB accreditation. The Earl G. Graves School of Business and Management, as a result of its exceptional quality work by its faculty and staff, students and administrators, most of whom are here this morning, is among that 5% to have AACSB accreditation. There are three words that come to mind when I think about this new building. The first is excitement. Excitement in the sense that this building offers a learning experience like no other. Students are genuinely excited to use the technology that's in this building. There are so many places to study and collaborate with fellow students. With the technology in this building, students are able to learn in ways like never before. From creative innovation learning stations for group collaboration, to technology-driven lectures taught by our top-notch professors, to our capital markets lab where financial transactions occur in real time at Wall Street and other trading centers around the world, management, education, and student life is ever so changing and progressive. The second word that comes to mind is opportunity. We have the opportunities to do things like never before. The new building provides for a perfect venue for outreach and networking opportunities. The possibilities for us to collaborate with our private sector and public sector supporters are endless. The last word that comes to mind is legacy. We have champion alums who broke new ground. This school has produced successful leaders and entrepreneurs. Mr. Graves is an example. It's up to us, students, alumni, faculty, and community as a whole, to continue to build on that legacy. With a great building like this come great expectations. I can say with confidence today that we will surely surpass those expectations. Thank you.
Next on our program, we will hear from supporters, very strong supporters of Morgan State University. And I am very honored to be able to introduce this very special group of supporters of Morgan State. And we are going to start off with Senator Catherine Pugh. She is the Senate Majority Leader, and she is here with us this morning. And let us give her a most hearty welcome. So glad you could be here.
Mr. Graves, I'm home. I am not just a supporter of Morgan State University, I'm a graduate of Morgan State University. I'm also a graduate of the business school, and I hold my master's degree in business from this business school. And I could not be more honored to stand here today, because everything that I am began right here. This is the place where I grew up, and it is the place that I call home, because Morgan State University not only instilled in us great character, but it taught us how to be good business people. And I tell folks, when you have a business degree from Morgan State University, you know how to run anything. And so I have a small business, and I am the majority leader of the Senate, but more importantly, I'm a Morgan State University graduate. And so I am excited. I'm excited about the investment, Mr. Graves, that you have made and your family had made in this institution, and we will be forever grateful. So thank you for the opportunity to stand here before you all this afternoon. But more importantly, let's continue to support this university, because it is a beacon of light, not just to the city, not just to the state, but to the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you so very, very much. We will now hear from Senator Joan Carter Conway, Maryland State Senate, District 43, and Chair of Education, Health, and Environmental Affairs Committee. Let us welcome her.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning. I'd like to say good morning to President Wilson, Kwesi Mfume, our Chair of the Board of Regents, and to the Regents. And it is a marvelous day that I had the opportunity to stand here. Mr. Graves, we would definitely want to thank you for your tremendous academic and economic investments, and we thank you for that. And we will again give Mr. Graves another round of applause. I'm just going to give you a little bit of history, and I won't be long. And Dr. Wilson, your predecessor, and some consider him the icon, Dr. Richardson, started and set the stage for you, and I applaud you for taking up the mantle. Thank you. But let's be mindful that progress comes with a cost. And, you know, I can remember when they said we would never, ever get the land associated where your building stands. And we had actually threatened condemnation, and my colleague at the time, prior to, was in the, where's Bobby Kern? Councilman Kern. So I said, look, if they don't want to give it to us, we're going to threaten condemnation, and we're going to take it anyway. So it was just the threat of condemnation that made them come in. I can also remember when we sat here in the state and my colleagues who were very supportive of sitting over there said, okay, we're going to continue to take the demolition money out of the budget. We're going to just take it out. You're never going to demo it. Okay, if that's what you're saying, we're never going to demo it. Well, watch this. And so we demoed it. Then we go on and on and on, and it's always a threat to progress in education. And I don't really understand it. And many people say, I'm always going to be who I am. You know, you want me to be this meek and humble person? And that's who I am. But I am not that meek and humble person when it comes to inequality, economic disparities, and I never will be. And when it's all said and done, we want to continue to make the progression. We want to continue to educate our students. And you know what? Many people want to be the cornerstone. I don't need to be the cornerstone. Just let me and allow me to be a small brick in the continued progression and education of our students. And congratulations to you, Mr. Graves.
Thank you very much, Senator. That was excellent, excellent. We're now honored to have remarks from Senator Nathaniel McFadden, Maryland State Senate, District 45, and President Pro Tem.
Thank you. Thank you, Doctor. God is good. My goodness. Dr. Wilson, Chairman Mfume, Regent members, faculty, staff, what a wonderful and glorious day. Earl Graves, Dr. Graves, thank you. First, let me just say, 51 years ago, I got off the bus up here on Loch Raven Boulevard and was not welcome in this community. 51 years ago. We came, we would walk through the shopping center like we were criminals. God is good. He made this happen. He paved the way. He sent Earl Graves. He sent Martin Jenkins, Earl S. Richardson, David Wilson to this university. I'm sorry, my degree says college. And in fact, both of my degrees say college. Clarence Blount. That's right, yes, sir. Clarence Blount. Yes, sir. Martin Jenkins. Yes. Those who have gone on before us and fought the fight. We continue to make progress in this city and in this state. And we will educate the future Earl Graves in this building. We will challenge the University of Maryland. Kevin Plank won't have anything on what we turn out in this institution. We heard the storm in April, and we're going to respond accordingly to build and establish the best university, and I didn't say black, historic black, the university in this city and state. For all that we had to overcome, you have brought us to a place where it is our responsibility, if we are in government, in business, or education, or in the community, to lift up our young people. Earl Graves, thank you. We dedicate a building, but we launch lives. And we say to the world, the next editor and owner and CEO of a major magazine, project, development, invention will come from the Morgan State University, the Earl Graves School of Superior Business and Excellence. 5% accreditation, and I'm saying this under a purple and gold sign.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, I feel like we all ought to say hallelujah. Thank the Lord. This is wonderful. Our next speaker will be Delegate Maggie McIntosh, Maryland House of Delegates, District 43, and the chair of the Appropriations Committee. Let us welcome her.
Thank you for being here. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. What a beautiful day, and why do I have to follow Senator McFadden, huh? I always get, the only thing worse would be follow Elijah Cummings, I guess. Kwesi Mfume, Dr. Wilson, and the Graves family, I'm very pleased to be here today. And as I was sitting there, I was going to think about what I wanted to say, and I threw it all out. Because, Dr. Wilson, you reminded me of something very important in my life. In 1968, my mother, who Kwesi asked about, moved herself and 5 young children to Baltimore. She wanted to get a master's degree in social work. And they moved right up here to Northbourne Road, just a few blocks away. And I followed about a year later after I graduated from college, and I moved to Northbourne Road. Morgan was the center of our universe, really, in those days. And Northwood was a community in transition. So, Dr. Wilson, when you mentioned that theater, I remember that theater. I would go in that theater and I'd think, this doesn't look like the neighborhood. This doesn't look like the neighborhood. So, in 1968, 69, not much had changed for those Morgan students. They still weren't in that theater, all right? They still were not in that theater. And this shopping center, you're absolutely right. The movement started in the 40s, but the late 60s, it still wasn't reflective of the community in which we lived on Northbourne Road. So when I look up and I see that what's replacing those days is this business school and that building that we've just invested $35 million in that's going up in the sky, 80 in that? Oh, the first 35, huh? Now they're going to be after me for more. You know what? Hey, you know what we're going to say? All right. And you look at all that's been accomplished on this campus, and I know we met with Dr. Wilson this week. Let me just say to you, the Baltimore City delegation, all of us, all districts, we love Morgan. We love Morgan. Morgan is our university. It's true. And to say to you, as someone who started out her Baltimore experience just a few blocks up, and now represents this area in the House of Delegates, I want to tell you how big the smile was on my face when I came down Hillen Road and I saw the bridge coming over west. So we're going to be with you all the way west. Thank you very much. And to the Graves family, thank you again.
Thank you very much. Next, we will have on our program Councilman Robert Curran, and he is Baltimore City Council, District 3. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you, and welcome to the Graves family for this wonderful opening. Dr. Wilson, Congressman Mfume, the Regents, my friends in government. I know that Senator McFadden talked about 51 years ago coming up here on a number 3 bus. I know the bus lines because since 1959, I've been a neighbor of Morgan. I live about 200 yards west. I know the good Senator Conway lives about 200 yards south. and I know Delegate Anderson only lives a couple hundred yards north. Back in the mid-'60s, as I was graduating from Loyola High, my dad wanted me to attend Morgan State College because he could keep me home and I could walk to school. But being a young man, I wanted to go away, as all young men and women want to do when they go to college. They want to go somewhere else to get away from the house, the family. And I did not go to Morgan. My dad was council member, the city council at that time, representing Morgan. I was proud to follow my brother Mike, who was a council member representing Morgan. As know that former councilman in Fume knew my brother, Mike. And for the last 20 years, I've always been proud to represent Morgan, and I do it hopefully with distinguished accreditation as my position in City Council. I just want to mention, before we hear from the response from Mr. Graves, that the standing in the original Northwood and Hill and Road and the communities around Morgan State, Perry Lock, and such, Morgan goes well beyond the 140,000 square feet of this building and what it means to the city of Baltimore. I know our state representatives knows what it means to the state of Maryland, but what this means to the city of Baltimore. Morgan and his growth and Dr. Wilson's vision for the West Campus, and I've stayed committed to Dr. Wilson's vision, goes well beyond the building we're seeing here and reaches into the Morgan Mile all around our communities. So with that being said, I want to thank the Morgan University for having me here today. I'm proud to represent Morgan and hope to continue to represent Morgan, at least on the city end and the city council. But we need Morgan to continue Dr. Wilson's vision for how we're going to implement Morgan and plan it to our communities. So with that, I want to hear a response from our good friend, Dr. Graves, in this wonderful building here today. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, and we greatly appreciate all of those who have made remarks at our program this morning. Before we bring up Mr. Graves, I'm going to ask our president, David Wilson, to come forward.
Before we hear from Mr. Graves, we have a special presentation. We have with us the Cook County Commissioner, who's also a graduate of Morgan State University, and I'm going to ask him to come forward and present a special resolution from the City of Chicago. Please join me in welcoming the Cook County Commissioner.
Thank you. Thank you, President Wilson, and to the Regents, Board of Regents, and to the faculty, staff, and Morgan family. I bring you greetings from the City of Chicago, Cook County, the second largest county in the country. And why is this school so important to me? I'm a graduate. And what does that mean to you? Let me tell you why it means so much to me, Mr. Graves and the Graves family. I am the president pro tem of our board. I oversee 5.3 million people. We're the half of the state of Illinois, our county. Reverend Jackson told me to bring you greetings. He's with me last night, Reverend Jesse Jackson. But I also want to tell you why it's so important to me, because my grandmother is the first African-American woman to graduate from Delta State University out of the cotton fields. And when she left this earth, she had 3 master's degrees. And she birthed this child through my mother. And so I bring you a special greeting from the Cook County. Whereas Morgan State University is located in a residential section of Northeast Baltimore and was founded in 1867, it has been designated as Maryland's public urban university by the Maryland legislature. Its stated mission is to enroll student body that is diverse in its social, economic, and academic status, and to provide a full range of experiences and services that permit it to successfully serve students with a wide variety of goals and needs. On November 13th, 2015, as a part of the Founders Week celebration, Morgan State University will officially open its new state-of-the-art Earl Graves School of Business and Management building. The School of Business Management is named in honor of Earl G. Graves Sr., a 1957 graduate of Morgan State University College, and founder of Black Enterprise magazine. Black Enterprise has its roots and its annual newsletter distributed to raise awareness and the importance of black consumer power on Morgan State's campus. Black Enterprise now is a coveted resident of Cook County, Illinois. Because of what you guys have done, I have named this day Earl Graves Business School Management Day in Cook County. Mr. Graves, you have sought to make more of us important to our communities. This school keeps people out of jail. It keeps our kids out of jail. It gives them something to fight for. I oversee a $4.6 billion budget. I am the chairman of every county in the country's pension fund. I have a $15.8 billion budget I oversee. I am the chairman of that budget. I'm also the chairman of contract compliance for the second largest county, which means they can't do business without bringing some minorities into it. I oversee that. That's why this school is important. You educate us and we go use your power. Thank you so much for what you've done and what you bring.
Well, now the moment that we've been waiting for, certainly that I've been waiting for. It is such an honor and a privilege for me to introduce to you Mr. Earl G. Graves, Sr., founder and publisher of Black Enterprise magazine. Let us welcome him with love.
First of all, good morning. I'm fortunate today to have my 3 sons with me, and then some of the grandchildren. Okay, my son just told me, don't freelance, read the speech. I want to first of all thank Dr. Wilson and all of our other dignitaries today assembled here for this very special day. I'm truly humbled with this unique honor and candidly blown away by the size, scope, and beauty of the new home of the Earl G. Graves School of Business. Somebody must be proud of it to start clapping out about the school. Three people who got to do better. I'm truly humbled with this unique honor and candidly blown away by the size of its scope and beauty of the new home of the Earl G. Graves School of Business and Management. This is the second time I did that. This wind is making me crazy. It was 62. I know I shouldn't have brought my son up here. I've got 2 others here sitting in the audience, and if he doesn't get it right, one of them will run up. So a lot of this has to do with my late wife and wonderful wife, Barbara, who was the leader in correcting them and also correcting me. It was 62 years ago, this past September, that I first set foot on this wonderful campus. A young man from Brooklyn, New York, with dreams, aspirations, and a desire to somehow make a difference in this world, but without a specific plan. My life was forever changed by Morgan State. It was the outstanding African-American professors of this unique university. Many of you in this audience today, where are the professors and the faculty members and the staff? Would you all raise your hands so you know where they are? And they tell me this was a day off for you guys, but you all still came, so I appreciate that. Right? Professors of this unique university that shaped and provided me with the discipline and training to let me know that anything was possible if I was prepared to work hard and accept the challenge of success. He's good, and he has 2 degrees, and all he can do is move a piece of paper off the table. Joining me today for this historic dedication are 2 of my 3 sons, Earl, who you've now seen about 9 times, and Johnny. Where's Johnny? Johnny, stand up. Take off the dark glasses. We appreciate that. My daughter-in-law, Caroline. Right. Married to Johnny, but you see how he runs his household. His wife sits behind him in a chair behind him. My wife and I tried. We really did. Where am I now? Right. 3 of my 8 precious grandchildren. Earl the third, where is he? Stand up so they see you. It's just waving in their hands. He's better known as Gibby. He doesn't like that name, but somebody gave him that nickname and it's stuck. Melanie and Kelly, where are my 2, there they are, 2 granddaughters. I don't want you to say I told them to wear orange and blue. Let's just say I told them don't come with orange and blue. Right? Unfortunately, my loving wife of 52 years, Barbara, passed away some 3 years ago, but none of the business or personal success I've enjoyed would have been remotely possible without her love, support, and guidance along the way. I know she, just one second. I hadn't figured this being the kind of day that it is. It's a wonderful day, but the wind is a little challenging. I know she's looking down from heaven, having brought this beautiful day with a warm and improving smile on her face. Please know, not a single day marches by that I don't miss her terribly, but her everlasting love will reside in me forever. I thought that was a good line and nobody typed it. I figured at least the ladies were going to clap. Some of you guys can borrow her stuff tonight as you use it. As I walked around the campus yesterday, reminiscing with my family and friends of the fun days gone by, I continue to be amazed at the transformation and changes of this outstanding university under the exceptional leadership of Dr. David Wilson. Where's Dr. Wilson? That means he's telling me, he waved his hand, he wants to say something also. I know I should not have sent him to college, but anyway. Dr. Wilson will hear from you shortly. Your vision and dedication are to be admired, and you make us all extremely proud. I'm not finished. As an impressive college student back in the 1950s who arrived at Morgan with nothing more than a small bag of clothes and $150 in my pocket.
15.
I didn't want to make it sound like I was that poor, but this is a lesson to you. Do not bring any sons up when you have a speech to say. Excuse me one second. As an impressionable college student back in the 1950s who arrived at Morgan with nothing more than a small bag of clothes, I said that already, all right? See, Butch, what you do? And I could never have imagined that this university, one of the things that they taught me here at Morgan is try not to read from a speech, and if you have to, explain ahead of time that you're reading from your speech. I want you to know that I've subsequently gone on to get 56 honorary degrees. Did Butch clap? My sons are not clapping. This has been a truly remarkable person. I looked at it and I thought I could leave that out. Would that be all right? All right. I'm supposed to say something here about my beloved alma mater named in my honor. I think I say something about that every day. When you arrive on the campus with about $15, $20, and you decide you want to start and work, I had a gardening business. And the reason that everyone thought I was so good, particularly close in the neighborhood, particularly in the persons who were white, is they figured if I'm black and I must be from New York, I really must be pretty good at this gardening thing. Well, I didn't know one of the whole from the other, but they didn't know that. I was good at cutting grass, and so they would tell each other, if I didn't say this already, I have the nicest colored boy who cuts my grass. And I was the colored boy. We all were, okay. You don't look as old as me, but all right, I accept that. See, everybody's getting in on the act. I like this. This has been a truly remarkable personal journey for me, which I will remain eternally grateful. God has blessed me with the gift of long life, a great family, and the matchless opportunity to attend Morgan State University. And when I came here, it was just Morgan State College, right? All of those who were here when it was Morgan State College, raise your hand so you can get on. All right. And you see a lot of us have our orange and blue ties. I tried to get mine on discount, and they said no, but I want to say a final heartfelt thank you to all of you for attending the ceremony this morning, and to the entire Morgan family for this horrendous and tremendous honor. Now, I'm supposed to say, may God bless you all, like I go to church every Sunday, and I do, most of the time. But may God bless you all. You make me very, very proud. I'm very proud of this university. Just look at that. Have you been inside? Okay. Don't take anything home, please. They asked me to mention that. Am I finished?
Thank you. Thank you.